Hello and welcome back. So today I'm going to continue a look at the Aegis missile defense and see how it handles various threats. So today we are going to be looking at the YJ-18. So this is a Chinese missile. It's only time that we test a Chinese missile. So far we've done India, Russia, even the US Harpoon as a baseline, and now this. So 290 nautical mile range. Doesn't say how big the warhead is, but it is a high subsonic missile, so everything I can tell, it looks like a Harpoon, except it goes further. Alright, so I have my baseline ship right here. Now, the Luoyang 3 here has 64 VLS slots. I've opted to fill every VLS slot with YJ-18s for this. Now, no ship would ever have this many because that would mean they would have no HQ-9B SAMs. But basically, just for the sake of testing missile defense, we are using a defenseless, or almost defenseless. They have VHQ-10 point defense weapons, but that's about it. We are going to just test a almost defenseless Luoyang with 64 missiles. So, going to use this one here. And fire off all of these clubs. And while they're taking their sweet time going towards the target, let's look at their set. They does not say what sensors they have. Huh. That's actually surprising. Okay, well, either way, it doesn't matter. They're firing, and we've got our ship here with ESSMs. So how do ESSMs hold off a saturation strike from these missiles? So we're going to speed it up until we get to detection. And we've detected our first missile. Hi, Mr. Doomed Bunker Hill. How you doing today? Oh, and while I'm waiting, I can bring up my notes because we are taking notes on missile defenses. All right. These are getting way too close. And we got it finally. But we're not sunk yet. We will be. And we're sinking. Alright, so how many missiles did it take, and how many did we have to fire to do that result? So 39 left. So 64 minus 39 is 25 missiles were needed. So that was surprising considering these are high subsonic. I must say I was surprised. Alright, so we're going to make another test since that's what we do. And this time we're going to test how effective the SM2 is. I have a feeling that it's going to be roughly similar to how it was with bee harpoons, but I don't know. Let's say that these clearly are better than harpoons. I'm not sure why. So while I'm waiting for the missiles to come in, I'm going to see what the radar cross-section of harpoon is. Maybe it's a stealthy missile? So 0.61, 0.37 per IR. Well, we don't care about classification, we care about detection. And negative 13 dBSM from the front, or this 0.046, whatever that is. So, the YJ 18 here. It's not some super stealth missile, so I'm honestly not sure. It's not fast. Does travel low, but I would imagine it has some sort of defensive countermeasures or something. Does it say in properties that it zigzags or maneuvers? No. Or did we just see the Chinese get lucky? Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. I don't know yet. Let's see how these SM2s do. So they're going to be detected around here, like before. So we're just going to wait, and they're detected 17.6 nautical miles out. And should be engaging in any second here. Alright, so let's see how many missiles truly get close. And we're getting hit rather quickly. That's surprising. I'm really not sure why. I mean, these missiles do not appear to be good, but we are lacking information about them, so... Ugh. Don't mess with the Chinese, damn. 55 units left. That one was depressing. Holy shit. Alright. All I know is do not mess with China. Still puzzled as to why their weapon systems are as good as they are. There's nothing obvious about it that's good. Oh wait. This is kind of important. Alright, so we are detecting the harpoons now. I'm sorry, the clubs. And wait, 1900 knots. Something is wrong here. No, I don't know what I misread before. I swear I thought that these weapons were slow. Huh. No, 1900 knots is quite an impressive missile. Now I'm thoroughly confused, so before we begin this, I want to look at this again. You see this here? This is what it says it is. And this that's interesting. Okay, so since nothing has been engaged yet, going to keep it that way for a second. I'm actually going to follow these missiles in. I think what this does is it fires the missile and then it breaks off into a terminal phase where it goes faster. So let's follow this from the God's eye view perspective, and let's not rush this. Yeah, so right now, these missiles are traveling at 530 knots. Alright, so what it said was that 20 miles from the target, they break off from this, or the warhead breaks off and basically gets boosted. So they get both range and speed when they're closer to the target. That's quite impressive. We're going to see them do their thing in a second here. Alright, so we should be approaching 20 nautical miles very soon. Now, if AWACS are not out, I think you're in big trouble. If AWACS is out, I have little doubt that these could be taken out fairly efficiently before they get close. And there goes the first one, going really, really fast, just before it gets detected. Well, we're doing much better this time. And we're doing a good job of keeping the missiles at a distance here. Now, one thing I was curious about before, which we could find out now from this stage does have an active radar seeker, and it also has anti-radiation seeker. Interesting. Alright. Since it didn't tell us what the signatures were in the first part, which I found interesting, figured I'd check with this one. Oh my god, it looks as if we're going to survive all these missiles. So I've written down that all 64 of them were shot down at the expense of, it looks like, about 70 SM6. That was surprising. I did not realize how lethal this missile was. Very interesting, though. Huh. Now, I could put 2 of those ships up, but I'm thinking that we already know that it would be very difficult for these missiles to saturate an Aegis ship armed with SM-6. So I'm not going to bother. I did find that interesting, though, and I thought that was pretty cool that they have a missile that has 2 stages to it. Now, that worked very well against Aegis with certain missile types. They just couldn't keep up, but they were no match for the SM-6. I really wonder how those would do against other countries as well. So I think next up will be the LRASM and the Tomahawk. I'm not sure which one I'll do first, but I do want to see how our missiles would compare. Not that we are likely to be facing down against an Aegis system, but you know, we could only assume that if this Chinese boat here had HQ-9s instead, that they would be a pretty formidable ship to take down in terms of their missile defense. Which, what is the missile defense of a Liang? I don't believe that for a second. Just like I'm sure the Burke class is low. 20. Yeah. So, just to clarify, I'm very confident that the Burke's missile defense is about as good as what we're seeing. Where's the Flight 3s then? I wonder if the Flight 3s improved this or not. Can't find them. Probably find them somewhere else. So if I just add a unit, type in Burke. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. Anyway, that was interesting. The double stage missile sounds pretty terrifying too. Alright, so I'm going for now. Have a good day.